You know what I mean? He got to talk about his straight business. You feel me? He about to talk.
Man,
we need to hear his straight business. I like that, OC.
Man, we about to get into a lot of straight business. As a matter of fact, hopefully by next week y'all have some shirts too. Straight up.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that.
I'm gonna wear that proud.
Working on that.
Straight business is something to be proud of.
No.
Yeah. Because it's to the point. Ain't no sugarcoating it.
Yeah. It's what we represent, all of us.
Mm-hmm.
We can almost change the fighter word to straight business.
For
He's
real.
naive. For real.
That'd be like, that's too much now. You're being too much now out there in them streets.
Straight business.
You're getting a little bit too much over there. Calm down over there.
The gravy train.
Hey man, people don't like to concentrate. You got to put some water in it. You got to dilute it. You understand? You got to dilute it.
Yeah, man. That straight business, man. That's what Cowboy fans want, man. I feel that so
we
much.
Can't get it though.
We sick of
We can't get it though. Don't make me go to straight business. Don't make me do it. I'm gonna be quiet now. Don't start it.
You start it off, man. So you know.
I don't want to do it. I'm gonna just be. Yeah, I'm gonna be try to be good. Because Jerry, don't make me jump on you again. And Steven.
You got to do what you got to do, Big. You got to do what you got to do.
Say what you got to say.
I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Boss already started it out there. He threw it out there, so I'm just gonna have to jump on it. When y'all been on Kellen Moore, then I hear Stephen Jones talking that I think the world of him, so we are excited to bring him back.
We don't do it.
He didn't say everybody from the beginning. He said I think the world of Kellen Moore, so we are happy to bring him back.
Big, you gonna take
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Oh man. Hey, we gonna play the whole intro today too, bro, because my boy got Cheeto in it. You know what I'm saying? That's just appropriate.
Cheeto. Cheeto,
we got Cheeto, man. Shout out to the
remember we had it
to the homie.
Shout out to Cowboys.
Cheeto had that great interview with him. I said, "You playing safety, dog?" He said, "Nope, I'm a corner."
Yeah, you was asking them tough questions, bro. That's one thing about you, Big. You ain't never soft.
No,
never soft, bro.
You know what the thing is, though, boss? That's why I wish I could get in that room and ask Jerry Jones so he could kick me out on the first interview. He'll kick me out on the first interview, but them tough ones is coming. So who kept Ezekiel Elliott knowing that he started forward after week 4 with the torn PCL? So whose
idea
was that? Whose idea was that? And whose idea was not to play Tony Pollard more? Whose idea was it to start Leo Collins after being suspended?
I don't like that.
He'd be like, he gone. He gone.
Yeah, get him out of here.
Now there was a lot of factors in that decision, big game. There was a lot of factors and a decision we made amongst ourselves.
No doubt.
Yeah. Shout out to Cowboys experience, man.
Shout out to the Cowboys experience.
If you're on the Facebook group, we're not that far away from hitting 10,000 on Cowboys experience page. Let's get us there, man. Get us there. 10,000. Come on. Sharing is caring, by the way.
Count it up.
Law Nation. Boss Cowboys Sports.
This is that song, though. This is that song. You should never, ever change this. I don't think this song's ever going to get old. I don't care nobody told me. It ain't never getting old. Don't you ever stop playing this song.
Charge it to the Yeah, man.
That opening is everything.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
And when we finally got that just ended everything right there.
Yeah, it did. We stopped playing all intros after this, dog.
You feel me? The yoga fire. Because we had all been saying it forever with our mouth, and now you finally got it. What?
Yoga
fire. Yoga flame.
Yeah. Run it up. All right, let's go. We got the final word in the dough. Let's kick it in.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of topics, bro. We gonna get right into it. We gonna always start with the big homie James. Let's go and get into it, man. You got a couple of topics. You was already starting it off as we were just kind of sitting back in the cut. So 2 things. I don't care how we started. You was talking about Kellen Moore and Stephen Jones, and then you said NFL, y'all in trouble. Where you want to start, big dog?
Trouble.
I mean, we'll hit that off because that's a top topic, and we'll hit the Kellen Moore, Stephen Jones type of thing. But I mean, it's just trouble. A lot of people, I hear a lot of people in the street saying, "Oh, the NFL, it's the NFL. They're gonna lose." A lot of people I've heard in them streets is like, it ain't like got a chance, and we'll see. I'm gonna just say this that I feel. I'm gonna just say this. I'm proud of Brian Flores. He looks like a no-nonsense guy. I watched some interviews with him when he was at Miami. He wasn't a guy that talked a lot, but you could see and sense his presence. And I think that's why the players liked him and played for him. And that's why they had winning seasons back to back. First time since 2003. So just seeing that and basically him saying, I know I want to continue to have a dream of coaching in this league, but I know that's probably going to be over now. He knows that he's being pretty much like the martyr, the sacrificial lamb through this because I think he's exposing a lot of things that need to be exposed, a lot of things that have been going on for a long time. There's not a lot of minority coaches, owners, general managers, and it's nobody crying the blues. Those are just facts. And it's not just African Americans, it's Latinos, it's Asians, it's women, it's whatever. It needs to be more diverse than they say it is, than we see with our eyes, and we see it's not. So I commend him for stepping up, and I want him to tell it all, tell all the real. So this can finally get cleaned up and there can start being advanced because it's 2021 and we shouldn't be seeing this disparity with minorities still along the NFL when the majority is African Americans and other races contribute to the NFL as well. And it just seems like it's not really saying what they say it is. So I got a big ups for Brian Flores, in my opinion.
No doubt, man.
Go
That's deep,
ahead,
man.
man.
That's good. That's good points right there, man. This is a sticky topic to most. Some people only see it from one side of view, and I get it. Just being in the National Football League is good. Good pay and everything. But I think what Brian wants is an equal opportunity, and we shouldn't it's crass to even have the Rooney Rule. I'm not a big fan of the Rooney Rule, but that's just how it is. Just like affirmative action, I'm not a big guy of fan of affirmative action, believe it or not. I just believe that if you should hire people just off of the information that they have in their head, you shouldn't be forced to. And one thing I do know about people with money, especially billionaires, it's hard to tell them what to do. And at the end of the day, they would prefer to be comfortable in their own billion-dollar playpans, and they don't want to have something forced upon them. So he's going against the grain. He's trying to buck the system. So we will see what this is going to all produce at the end of the day. But I can tell you, oh my goodness, he's under a big old microscope now, And I think that, like you said, Big Game James, he's the sacrificial lamb of this topic right here, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this reminds me somewhat of Colin Kaepernick, of when people didn't understand why he knelt, and we had a lot of police brutality across the country. I think that people are scared of their positions, their monies, and future opportunities. So I think that he's going to probably stand alone. Unfortunately, we have a lot of systemic and cultural differences in the NFL. And when you get to the higher levels, you don't have many billionaire African-American people or minority people in that sense. So people tend to hire people that they relate to. And I'm not saying that whether that's wrong or right, but we tend to hire people that we relate to, that we're comfortable with. So if I'm a Caucasian owner or a white owner, then my culturally and my background and people that I respect in terms of finance and business success, it's a likely probability that they were of my same background, pedigree, or color. And so you don't see many African Americans get the opportunity to be in high positions in these organizations, or minority people in general. So this is a thing that is kind of an eye opener, and that's something we have to keep a close eye on, because hopefully this will open doors and at least speak to the fact that there are many people outside of the norm of what you see in the NFL right now that are qualified and that are great personnel and coaches.
Yeah, well, man, there's so many different ways we can go with this. I'm gonna first start by saying we all got to get very comfortable having these types of conversations, because these are the type of conversations that help us move forward in a better direction. It's uncomfortable, it's embarrassing, people don't like it, but at some point we all got to get over and do the things that lead to progress. And progress in this country don't come without pain, it don't come without sacrifice, it don't come without discomfort. Right. It's a fact. You know, every move that we've made going forward, every move that we've made in terms of race relations, getting out of slavery, civil rights, Jim Crow, all that stuff came with two things. It came with being very uncomfortable and somebody willing to lose, a lot of people willing to lose. It also came with the help of a lot of white people.
Right, right.
There's not one major progress that has been made in race relations without also the sacrifice that comes with our brothers of the lighter hue. So we all got to come together about this, because we all tired of it. It ain't just black people that's tired of racial tensions and racial issues. It's white people, it's Asians, it's brown people, it's every color. We tired of it, and we want a better system. So I'm also say, just as I sum this up, we need in this country more diverse owners. Not even just black. We need Asian owners. We need Hispanic owners of the NFL.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say this. This is important to me. They did a study in Florida, okay? And they found that when they did and concentrated on having a diverse jury, that the citizens in Florida felt like the outcomes was fairer, and they accepted the outcomes way better.
Fire! Yoga! Flame!
That boy came right in with the fire.
And gave the look with it.
Fire!
He didn't say yoga. He just said fire. I gave the look. I gave the look.
I'm fire. He said, I'm fire.
Yeah. I gave the look with it. Yeah, because, bro.
Yeah, man. That's real.
I wouldn't trust nothing.
But you know what? And I'm gonna say this, man, and I'm gonna run off from it. You know, one thing I do love about rooting for this team, the Dallas Cowboys, is that I don't look like everybody. You know, outside of James Harden, I guess, and Denzel Washington's son, I don't look like everybody. But no matter where I go, I see people of different shades of hue. Different people from different backgrounds saying, Law Nation, what's up, my brother?
Facts.
And I sit there, man, and I love it, man. It'd be tears of joy, because I grew up in a little small town of Mississippi, and it was just me watching the game without any Cowboy fans. So now, no matter where I go, I got brothers and sisters of different eye colors, different shades of hue, different hair lengths, and we all love this team. And I believe that on Sunday and on Thursday night, as well as on occasionally a few Monday nights, we can all band together and root for one team. And the NFL, in the likeness of brotherhood, this is what we see. Now, can the upper class, like the upper epsilons of the owners, can they get together and have the same viewership as relates to ownership and have a diverse? That's the next battle cry. But for right now, man, I love all of my Cowboy fans. I love all of my Cowboy players. I love all of my Cowboy unit. Like I say, we don't look alike, but baby, we all bleed silver and blue, and we all brothers and sisters. And that's what I love, the unity.
Unity all day long.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Drop it hard.
Let's go.
It's time to
This is the last thing I'm gonna say, and then we can go to your other topic, Big. It's time for Jay-Z himself to be an owner.
For real.
It is. Listen, he went out and he said, we above kneeling. No, he said, he didn't say we're above. He said, and he did it like this. He said, and he gave him about 20 blinks. He said, I think we above kneeling. It's like, okay, you done kissed Goodell ring, big dog. Since you done kissed the ring, you need to be the next in line. I'm done. What you got, Big?
But the only thing is, man,
I mean-
have you been to Denver, Colorado? That's the only team that's open right now. That's open for
Hey, Colorado's nice. I've been to Colorado. I've been to Aurora, Colorado. Colorado is beautiful.
I would take it.
I'll take
man, too
Colorado.
cold for
Denver,
me.
especially. It's not
I'll
cold
try to
out there
slide
like
some.
that, bro. It's not.
It's not cold.
No, it's not.
I need to go out
No,
there.
it's not
then.
cold
I
like
just
that.
It's too cold.
You need to go
I
there.
had a
I
layover
was
there.
there. It's
in the
not
plane.
cold like that. It's beautiful.
But, man, hold
You'll
on,
love
Big
it.
Game James.
The air is
You
clear
live
and
in
everything.
Ohio though, man. You live in Ohio. You don't count.
I know,
man.
but how do I don't count? I'll be back in
of course,
Texas.
Yeah, you from
soon,
Texas. I
though.
forgot you from Texas.
That's
Man,
what
how
I'm
do you
saying,
stay
but
in
I-
Ohio all of those years, man?
Kids.
Oh wow.
That boy say somebody say Jay-Z they got enough money. No, Jay-Z got enough money. He got
Jay-Z
enough
got
money.
plenty money.
Yeah, he got enough money.
And you know what?
And
He
then-
know plenty of people, and they can put stuff together.
Thank you.
What up,
Yeah,
though?
you
True
can
that.
get other people to be a minority artist. You can pool your money.
can definitely
he can
do
be
that.
He can be the majority. Come on now.
Yeah.
Let's stop that.
Mhm.
It's all
Yeah.
good though. Hey, I want to go to your second point if you cool with that.
Oh
We
yeah,
can
let's
move
talk
on.
about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about
Yeah.
it.
All right, big dog. Would you say he said? Let me read the comment first from the Dallas Cowboys. He say, I think the world of Kellen, and that's why we want him back. Dallas Cowboys chief operating off of Stephen Jones' comments on Moore's status. And then he said, I, and then we, LOL. What that evil laugh, Law? What that evil laugh?
I mean, that's like
like
that's
that
wild,
evil
ain't it? Like,
That's
That's
for
right.
Yoga
real.
fire.
I want
Yoga
me some glory.
flame.
Go ahead, big dog.
Y'all crazy, man.
Oh my God.
That evil laugh. Boy, Law got them butts.
this stuff be on cue with it too.
Yeah, my boy be cold with it, man. Oh man, I'm sorry. This is real, man. Y'all catch us
I
sometimes.
hate to
We
rub
get
it
off
in.
strip.
I hate to rub it in, dog. I know we out of the playoff, but can we just do this one good favor?
Shape.
Shout out to all of the 49ers for no longer saying bang, bang, Niner gang, because I got so tired of that. Let's put that to pieces.
Yes. Bye. But they
Bye,
play
bye.
good though. They play good though. I ain't gonna even shoot
Yeah,
too
they-
many slugs
yeah.
at them
Good.
boys.
Yeah,
ain't gonna
I
shoot
can't
too
say
many.
too much. I they whooped our ass. You know what I mean? So I kind of just
Ask the
chilling.
underdog, so I can't shoot
You
too
feel
many
me?
slugs in them boys, but
Right.
that's appropriate.
I know,
No, that's
I'm
appropriate.
just glad
Law.
you ain't getting 6.
but you ain't getting
Facts.
six. They right along with
You
us
are
since
not getting 6
1995,
again.
96.
Thank you. You
Facts,
are
no.
not getting a 6 again. Thank
No.
you.
But go ahead, Big AJ. I hate to derail the thing, but I had
No,
to talk
no,
bad
we
about
good.
those 49ers,
No.
though.
It is all good. It
Oh
is
my
all
gosh.
good, man. That's just funny, man. We're talking about Kellen Moore, and it's just funny how Jerry comes on here doing all them mumbo jumbo talking in them mumbo jumbo interviews. I gotta call in for what? What are you talking about? And then you get Steven talking right behind him saying, I think the world of Kellen Moore. So we know who likes Kellen Moore and why he's still here. Okay, we
Right.
know who it is now. So he just let the bag out. This is me who kept Kellen Moore here. He said, and that's why we are gonna want to bring him back, because I think the world of him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say nobody else thought the world of him. He didn't say the team thought the world of him, did he? Did he say, we think the world of Kellen Moore? He said, I think the world of Kellen Moore. So since I think the world of Kellen Moore, he is going to be coming back. So once again, what OC had been talking about and saying so graciously, and I've said it behind him, as long as those type of things are going on from the top, not the coach, the top, making the decisions, coming in the media, saying those same things. And when people say, it's different, the coach, we need a new coach. This coach, that's going to be different. He's going to be able to stand up against him. He's going to be able to say, no, he's not. Right. Getting fooled again. He's going to bring you in. He's great. He's a salesman. He's an oil salesman. He had to have a lot of money to be able to do that, and he's great with the salesman. So he keep bringing you in with that. So that's why he keeps that Sean Payton thing floating, because he already tried to do damage control with them interviews. And a lot of people was mad. You feel me? A lot of people was still mad. Like, no, we ain't feeling that. We ain't listening to that. So all of a sudden, Sean Payton retires, and all of a sudden, Sean Payton is around. So what does that do? That gives Dallas Cowboys some more hope. And once again, those guys are making the decision. None of the coaches are. And so what do you tell me is going to be different?
Oh, gosh, man.
Well, it's very interesting because, I don't have a whole lot to say about that, because at the end of the day, you got to go what will win you football games, and just not football games, the key football games. Do you have the players and do you have the coaching staff in place that is good enough as a unit to win close and hard football games? And my contention based on this year is that we don't have the cohesion totally from the players and the coaching staff to win hard football games. And so you got to be willing to make adjustments if you want to right the wrongs. If you don't, then don't throw a fit. You get what you get. That's what it's going to be, man. It's going to be kind of same old type deal and situation, unless this is addressed either by some controls being taken away from Kellen Moore or by some accountability by the overall offensive coaching team and helping him make certain key decisions. Other than that, I think you'll get a repeat, because I don't think 1 year or one offseason is enough time for him to mature and really turn the corner to be able to loosen up and do what he got to do in those big moments.
Oh my gosh, man, you right on the money with it, man. I think the world of Kellen Moore, believe it or not. I believe that Kellen Moore is a wonderful offensive coordinator, but the problem is, and don't hit me with the womp 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 womp, because I thought that was coming. No, but I just look at it like this. He's smart. He's brilliant. And my thing is, he's still green.
Yeah.
Now he's going into his 4th year. And what's happening here is we don't have time. We literally don't have time for the development of Kellen Moore. It would have been wonderful to see Kellen Moore go to 2 or 3 years with Boise State and then come back and be a coach for the Cowboys as a offensive coordinator. But that's not the case nor the scenario. And I think that I was listening to A to Z Sports Dallas, and Sky Walker had a caller to call in. And Sky is very crafty with his calls, right? And one of the things that the caller said is that Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott got to get on the same page. And he stopped the caller and said, no, that's not the case nor the scenario. They are on the same page.
Yep.
But Dak don't have nobody to challenge him. You know what I'm saying? Or to redirect him and say, no, this is not right. Or Dak Prescott in this particular situation can look at Kellen Moore to whatever he call in and say, no, I can't run this right now.
I like
because
that.
It's cover 4, it's quarters. We can't pass into the teeth of that. We got to run that ball on that, right? So there are still areas that this particular team got to uncover, and it starts with accountability. So that's why it was so important. We're going to have to find a way to get John Kitna on this show. It was so important for the year that John Kitna was here because he held Dak Prescott accountable. He held the offensive coordinator accountable. And we don't have that right now. I'm not saying that Doug Nussmeier is not doing it, but dog it, Doug Nussmeier is not doing
bruh.
it.
So
I like
what
that.
You saying,
I like that.
Is,
I like that. God, dog.
Well, what you're saying is, Law, is you're saying we need and this is funny because this is the peril of being a Dallas Cowboy fan and podcaster. I mean, you don't see this in any other team. This is the most unique team in the NFL, right? We need a judicial branch, a legislative branch, and an executive branch. We got to have 3 different branches to keep each branch in check so that one don't go topsy-turvy and ruin the whole team. That's basically what you're saying right here, right?
Oh, I love it, man. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Big, I know you got something on it, big dog. Well, you already started.
I mean,
it's my turn.
I mean,
he started.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I was.
I want to hear what you got to say.
Hold on, bro. You know me, bro. I gotta. Hold on. Y'all went into my topic.
Oh, Cliff.
Man, so listen.
Oh, Cliff, baby.
I did a video on this yesterday where I called Kellen Moore's system fool's gold, but with real gold potential. That's key.
Oh.
He got real gold potential, and I think, Law, you was fair and balanced on your analysis. Because a lot of people did want to shank you with the butter knife, but no, Kellen Moore's a smart dude. It's no way to listen to Kellen Moore and not be impressed. So I'm going to just say a little bit of what I said yesterday. I'm going to try to carry it a little bit different, all right? This is the issue. Kellen Moore, I'm serious, though. I'm serious. I know y'all laughing, but I'm serious. Kellen Moore is too tempting to the Scrooges. Think about it. Like, really think about it. If you're a capitalist, think about it. If you're a capitalist and you know that you had a mind, right, and a system at Boise State that was able to take a bunch of average athletes and go 50-3. As a capitalist, you're going to try to stick with that system. You go give it all the time it needs to work out the kinks in your league. Because if it succeeds, then as a Scrooge, that means you get to pay boss less. So once I figured that out yesterday, I promise when I was putting this presentation together, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I say they are not getting rid of Kellen Moore. I said because he is catering to the greed and capitalists that made them who they are, billionaires, trying to find the same product cheaper. And that's what we dealing with. Yeah, it hit me yesterday, Law. It just hit me. And I said, and that's when I said, I don't care what happened. I don't care what Hall of Famers spoke out on them. They not letting them go. Period.
Yeah. Well, is Miami holding the candle with that?
Because I want to say one more thing, just real quick. I want to say one more thing, because now I've moved. I'm not about lobbying to get rid of him. Once I came to that realization, it's how do we turn him into gold? Can we talk about that? How do we?
Yeah, we can talk about that. I want to get
everybody ideas on how to get him to work.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. I never knew he was. I knew he wasn't getting fired. I don't know why people were telling him. I don't know why I was hearing all this Twitter chatter saying he was going to go. Yes, you wanted him to go, but he wasn't going.
Right.
So I don't know why everybody was like, I ain't watching Dallas no more. Well, then you better turn your TV off. You better turn it off. You're going to see Kellen. Right. I don't know why everybody was like, Kellen need to go. He ain't going nowhere, dog. The Joneses love him. I'm telling you.
How you doing, guys?
I don't care. It's the same setup, and I'm not going to run away from it. It's the same setup and the same luxury the way Garrett came in. And if you're telling me, boss, you said that Linehan-ish, they don't want to get away from that. They don't want to get away from it, Raw. So if they don't want to get away from it, that's still keeping it in the building with Kellen Moore, right? And that's still under Jason Garrett, right? Because that's under that tree, right? So they don't want to get rid of that tree. In essence, they cut off one of the branches in Jason Garrett, but they still kept the other part and going to still let it grow. And at the end of the day, it's the same setup the way he did. He came in, he was Dak's quarterback's coach. For real? Come on, dog. That's why. Come on, dog. Ain't no. How was he's your quarter? Let's think about this right quick. Let me just say this right quick. If you just working at a job, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And
you working with somebody, and you look at him, and come on, dog. He a peon to you, right? He a peon to you.
Yes.
But then he becomes a supervisor or something. Are you still gonna look at him like, oh, you my supervisor now? No, you'll be looking like I'm gonna do it, but you are still a peon.
Yes.
You still ain't telling me nothing. You still ain't telling me. Who are you telling me nothing? I'm better than you. You never played. You're telling me. So this dude was his quarterback coach. Now all of a sudden he's his offensive coordinator. Do we feel like there's the respect there? I don't know that. They might be cool, but you know what I'm saying? But y'all buddies, that ain't working. And that's what we talked about with the Kitna thing, because Kitna was gonna hold you accountable, because Kitna was gonna tell you either you're gonna do this or you're not. Throw the ball. If that's a bad throw, why'd you just throw that? He's not getting that from nobody in there. And that's the problem why he's probably holding that ball and being gun shy or whatever. But the whole point of this is, in my opinion, is that the Joneses still allow this. They set it up like Garrett. He came as a quarterback's coach, easy, smeezy, and did you hear what Jerry Jones said? There's only 2 coaches I got them to turn from being head coaches. That was who did he say? He said 2 people.
Sean Payton to the Raiders.
Sean Payton and Jason Garrett. Now, did you hear how he said that? So basically, you already undercut Wade Phillips.
Ooh,
he just sit there and said it out loud. He said it out loud that I had already got Jason Garrett to turn and be. So what are you saying? I basically promised you the job while Wade Phillips was still there, so Wade didn't feel that. So you undercutting him. So you're not doing the same thing with McCarthy by still keeping Kellen Moore on board?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I want to go to solutions, bro. But you still on the problem. We gonna go to solutions.
But the problem is, boss. The problem is it's hard to get to solutions when your leaders can't lead, and that's the Achilles heel, right? Dallas is like Achilles. He's the big Trojan warrior, big muscles, #1 offense, the most touchdowns, the most points, and all of a sudden when you get in a tight game, you can't run the ball effectively to control it and close it out. Here's that arrow. Boom, right in your Achilles. Oh, he's dead. And that's the problem, man. That's the problem, man. It's a big, strong engine with key weaknesses. And the only way that you get this to work is everything has to be measured, Boss Cowboy. It has to be measured in terms of game plan. It has to be measured in terms of the execution and key moments, right? And it can't be all in on any coach, especially a guy who is a younger guy who is smart as crap, but he needs to learn how to be a better scenario-based coach. He has a bag of great plays. He really does. But he doesn't have really a true system. He needs to be a scenario-based play caller at a higher level. And he needs a veteran coach to help him with that. That's what he needs. And until he gets that down, and it's going to take him a couple years if he does it by himself, and we just going to have to watch. But if he gets some help, his growth can be accelerated by a mentor. So 2 things. Bring back John Kitna, allow Mike McCarthy or somebody to mentor and help facilitate how you structure the plays offensively to help Kellen Moore. That's what you do. That's the solution.
Hey, I gotta jump in because this is making me sick, dog. I gotta be honest with everybody. I'm gonna get back to solutions, but I first gotta get to what's making me sick. What the OC said mixed with what Big said in terms of the mess that Mike McCarthy is in. This is a mess.
Unsullied Mike.
Oh, so just think about how nasty this is. So I'm gonna explain the scenario of what Law just said on Unsullied Mike. I'm gonna explain this scenario about this.
Oh my gosh.
All right, listen, this is very unsullied because Mike McCarthy came out and said how he coaches. He said, what I do is I give input to my special teams head coach, my defensive head coach, and my OC.
Right.
But in my system, I believe what makes us better is they got to believe in it. So even though I give the input, if they install it, they call it. That's what he said, right?
But
now
Mike, the kitchen is on fire. The kitchen is on fire.
Jerry to step in and say, no, I'm going to change your system.
Yeah.
I want you to step in and help him. So now what happened to the system that's supposed to be for the genes? Because let me ask everybody here a question. Did Dan Quinn need help? And was he ever called genes? No. Mike McCarthy gave him the same criteria and he lived up to it. But then you got Kellen Moore fail and they still like, so? It's your fault, Mike McCarthy. You left him by himself. He left Dan Quinn by itself.
Ooh-wee.
Okay, I got
Quinn was like, Jordan Lewis getting burned.
it.
I'm going to make the substitution. I'm going to put Kelvin Joseph in. Hey, I like the fact that we can look, I knew that Dan Quinn was going to change this team when we beat the Chargers. You saw when D-Law went out and they said, okay, now we're going to put Parsons on the edge and now we're going to blitz Parsons off the edge. Look, I said, man. And then we started getting the turnovers and everything. I said, that Dan Quinn, he's something special, man. You know, but go ahead. I don't want to
just real quick, because that's what that mix of what Big was talking about with the OC made my stomach hurt. Because it is unsullied. And it's like, even though we all want to try to get to solutions, they right. And it's almost like you got to accept it. It's like.
Okay, I got
it.
Look,
can I say one?
I'm gonna help.
Go ahead, boss. I mean,
I'm gonna help real quick. Hashtag straight business. Okay, here it is. Here's the real.
I like that. I like that. I really do.
The OC.
There's no emotions, no friends, no loyalty.
Straight business.
Straight business.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
You see that hashtag?
Put it in the chat.
Hey, so here it is, Boss Cowboy. Here it is, Law. Here it is, Big Games. And we would never know that this happened, okay? This is a solution to the problem. I got it. I had an epiphany. I got it. Jerry Jones has to call Kellen Moore and say, now, Kellen, now I know we believe in you and we want you to be the head coach. But we need you to do a few things for us, okay? We need you when Mike has a lot of great ideals and he's won a Super Bowl now and he's a fantastic coach now and you got to show him respect. So what I want you to try to do, Kellen, just try to listen to Mike and incorporate some of the things he's telling you when we had his pregame prep. Okay. Just work with him a little bit. You go be the head coach. Just learn from him. You ain't got nothing to prove. I believe in you. Stephen believes in you. You know, my wife believes. Your whole family believes in you, Kellen. You okay, Kellen? You ain't got nothing to prove, Kellen. Just learn and listen to Mike. That's the solution. Unless Jerry Jones has a sit-down conversation with Kellen and tell him to chill and listen to Mike and stop trying to reinvent every wheel and prove himself, he go keep on doing what he's doing, trying to prove he's prolific, dynamic, and got a bunch of cool plays. That's what's going to happen.
Let me counter that straight business thing right there, the OC.
Talk to him.
When you are unsullied, there's no desire. That was the whole point. It's been chopped off. You see, Mike is unsullied, and
I'm trying.
When he had that final presser, and he literally said, "When we install the plays, I trust Kellen Moore, because when he go through his first 15 scripted plays, those are his ideals."
Yoga fire.
When he see the kitchen on fire, Mike got his arms folded, and he's watching Kellen Moore struggle, and he's not putting out the fire. And that was the issue. And when I believe Jerry Jones, when he literally said, it's time out to try to fix it after the fact, right? He said he don't want to go through the offseason trying to fix things after the fact. And I said, bull sugar, because we just heard unsullied Mike, and I hate to talk bad about the man. We heard the man say that, hey, I've been in moments before in the playoffs. I've been to the Super Bowl before. And I said, Bull Sugar, you should have stepped in and said, hey, how come right now Tony Pollard only had 4 touches, right? He only had his first touch at the latter part in the second quarter. I believe he should have stepped in earlier. Hey, Dak Prescott, it's good that you're doing this, but right now we got to open up the run. That is why they call it change of pace. I know
but they don't want that law.
Everybody
had
you
that. Right, everything
you
saying, but they don't want that law. They don't want that law. You saying everything you saying is right, but they don't want that. That's why you say he's unsullied. That's why he don't do that. I feel like he was taking offense and kind of getting defensive when he was like, I know how to win. I've been to a Super Bowl. I know how to. It's almost what he almost wanted to say. I felt like he wanted to say. I felt like he wanted to come out and be like, it's them. I can't do that. I know how to win. I mean, for real. If you heard how he said it, he said it, he was like, I know how to win in this league. I've been to a Super Bowl. I've won games. So I feel like he was almost like, I can't do nothing because they don't let me. I know how to win. I know what to do. I know how to do this and do that, but I can't do it. They don't let me.
I like that.
Did you hear that? That's what I heard.
I like that. The biggest point.
Fire.
But you know what, Big Game James? The reason why I like that and I agree with what you're saying is because that got to be the reason. Ben McAdoodle got him a job over there in Carolina.
Come on, man.
Because if he wasn't doing what he's supposed to do, there's no way that he still had a resume valid enough to still get a job. So somewhere, I wish I was a fly on the wall. And Ben McAdoo could have just been saying, you know what? These are the things that I would have done,
left here,
but I couldn't do it.
If Mike McCarthy left here, he would go back and win in the league. He would go back to win. I'm not saying go to Super Bowls and stuff, but he ain't going to fall off. I'm not saying he's like the world's greatest coach, but he's going to go back to winning. And as I said before, people don't understand. They was kicking Dallas's butt. Everybody hating on Mike McCarthy now, but they was kicking Dallas's butt, and he was the coach. And we was getting mad because they was smashing us all the time over there. And also another thing, Aaron Rodgers don't have him no more. He been to 2 championships and got the big debacle, but he didn't win a Super Bowl without McCarthy. Okay, people need to remember that. He won the Super Bowl with McCarthy. He ain't win nothing without McCarthy yet.
Man, I like
he
that.
Ain't win nothing without McCarthy yet. So McCarthy must know what he doing a little bit. And you remember how them two used to beef?
Yes.
You remember how them? You know how Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers got a mouth. But you know what? Mike McCarthy, we remember what I think somebody was bringing it up when he was sitting down Eddie Lacy because he was saying was too fat. Y'all remember how he was getting on them jokers?
Yes,
and doing that?
He
was doing those type of things. When he had the control, he was getting on them and making them moves. He can't come over here and do that, and that's why he's not doing it. And that's why he's getting defensive. And that's just what it is, in my opinion.
And that's why
I swear.
And,
I can't. That's
why. I'm sorry, boss. That's why I said. You gotta have somebody above everybody to tell Kellen to listen. If Mike is neutered, then the man who's neutered everybody has to tell the person that's not neutered that it's okay to listen to the neutered. The man that's neutered everybody has to tell the man that's not neutered, Kellen Moore, to listen to the man that has been neutered because he has wisdom and he can help you. That's why I said it got to come from the top. That's the only way you go get Kellen to incorporate and do certain fundamental things that he should do.
Oh, my God.
Hey,
anyway.
Real quick. I want to just jump in real quick. All right, real quick. I did think that it was wise for Mike McCarthy to step back. Being all the way honest.
I'm following you. Go ahead.
Yeah, you feel where I'm going? Because I said this a couple of shows ago on the Final Word. This is the Game of Thrones.
Right.
In the Game of Thrones, one of the most famous quotes is, either you win or you die. in this game. All right. So he had to give himself clear separation. Because if he didn't, he would have the reputation of filming. Because right now, people on filming head. They are on filming head. And I broke down and I showed on Boss Cowboy Sports Channel that a lot of the stuff that he been blamed for, he had nothing to do with. So a lot of people saying stuff like, man, you know, the offensive line messed up when it started being rotation. Well, what if you was the guy that was against the rotation? Why should your name be caught up in that? But his name is caught up now, isn't it?
Big
so
facts.
So he had to, and that's sad because Jerry put him in that position to where he had to play politics for the Game of Thrones, or we would have all been blaming Kellen and Mike McCarthy for the breakdown at the offense. But now that it's obvious that it's Kellen and the world is trying to make Mike McCarthy step in, this is what I would say to Law's point, because he did get to solutions. When you looking at the breakdown of what you want to see in a balanced game, and you see that Kellen Moore's off script, you now, because of what Law said, gotta tap him on his shoulder and say, big dog, you know, Pollard only got 2 touches in the first half.
This playbook. Yeah.
See, he wasn't doing that at first because he had to let the young dude drown. He did,
Right.
or he would have got caught up in that, y'all. Just look at how filming is getting treated right now. I showed everybody the evidence that Jerry himself came out and said it was filming responsible for Steele's development, and it was filming that lobbied for him. So when you saw the weird rotations that was happening in the Raiders game, remember everybody was like, what is this? They rotating tackles. Stuff you've never seen.
Never.
That's because it was coming from the top. It was coming from Jerry. And then when you listen to Jerry, and Jerry was saying, Lael's in the Forster. We got to keep him on the field.
Ooh.
I was like, that's where it's coming from. Right there, that guy. That's where it's coming from. That's where the confusion is coming from. That's where all the breakdown. He meddling.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
If y'all got a second, I did want to throw my solutions out there real quick and get y'all.
Let's start beating them up a little bit.
Yeah, because I'm gonna get the solutions. I want to get the solutions. Like,
Yep,
I think
let's
that's
do it.
important. All right, yeah, because we can crawl all day, but let's talk about how to get this thing going. In my opinion.
Okay.
All right, because I think we can still
I
get
got my notepad out, man. I got my notepad out.
I call this the Kellen Moore gold strategy. How to turn them into gold. And then if y'all got some additional input to this list, let me know. Even from the chats. I said use stealth in the public smoke screen because he talked too much. He told everybody that I aggressively take what the defense gives me. And so they started actually running more disguises because of his big mouth. That's one. All right, number two, to make him in the goal, abandon aggressive, adapting to defense philosophy. To where your offense is about, I see this defense and then I'm gonna adapt to it based on what I see, where it don't work when they disguise it. Number three, embrace a commitment to matchup football. He doesn't do that. That's why versus the Cardinals, remember it was 2 backup corners and CeeDee Lamb and Cooper only had 4 targets combined. That's because his system don't embrace matchup football. And that's when Aikman said, if it would have been me and I saw that matchup, the playmaker would have had 10 catches in the first half. So another solution that I think will turn him into goal, mix in system offense on weaker opponents. I'm not saying abandon it because y'all do blow out teams with that system offense. Just don't use it when it's a team that we circled. You know?
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Don't use it against a team we circle because it don't work when you're going up against San Fran, Kansas City. You need stars on stars. And obviously run the ball. I see people saying run the ball. That goes into embracing the commitment to matchup football. That goes into that bullet. All right.
It's just simple math. 6 DBs, man. Shoot. You run it.
So
Go ahead.
I said, let's gadget red zone philosophy. And then I said, fill the play call sheet with targets and touches for the stars. So that when Mike McCarthy touch you on your shoulder and say, Kellen, look, I get that you running your system, but hey, we got to get Pollard going. I need him to have a whole list of plays that's going to start feeding Pollard. If Mike McCarthy tap him on the shoulder because they now doing a little bit of micromanaging, I'm thinking he need to have it all. I'm saying how to fix him, because I'm not going to accept all this crying. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, we cried enough. How we go fix this?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Well, you bring up a lot of good points, but this is all contingent upon, will anybody have the right to tap him on the shoulder? Everything you said is fantastic. It's fabulous. It's well thought out, Boss Cowboy. It will work, right?
Yep.
It will work like a charm. And I'm all for it, man. I just hope that I'm not convinced either, okay? Just straight up. But I hope that that somebody has the power to tap him on the shoulder, and that's allowed. That's allowed in this establishment. That's what I hope, But what you said is great. It makes perfect sense, man. It's fantastic.
And that means a lot coming from the OC. For real. This man's name is the OC. So if I was wrong, I tell you, he would, in a heartbeat, so the fact that my brother that gave me the approval, I feel good. We got Rome in the house too. What's up, Rome? My boy Rome said he needs to trust the input of his stars. They on the field. They can see what's happening better than anyone. Trust our stars.
So in other words, man, you take Kellen Moore, you put him up in the booth somewhere, and then let him see the full field. I think that's how the 49ers OC went, right? And although they didn't win the last game, but you know how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Better view of things.
Hey, Law, I got something. Since you the one that's talking, I want to go to something, and unless y'all had something else on that, Law, you brought up something on your page about good move by Dak in terms of rejecting the Pro Bowl. I want to get your thoughts on that, because that also spurred into other guys, and I do have these links in the description, turning down their invitation to the Pro Bowl. Obviously Zach Martin and T. Smith, I want to get your thoughts on that, since you've done some stuff on your channel actually talking about that, as well as bringing it up on your Twitter. So, and then we can all kind of take our turns and
most certainly
that.
Most certainly, I just view it as, the Pro Bowl is a glorified hype situation, whereas the meaning of Pro Bowl is no longer the same because it's right before the Super Bowl, and those boys risk injuries, and there's also practice and everything else. And I believe that Dak Prescott, regardless of the situation, is the quote-unquote leader of this team. And by him refusing to go to the Pro Bowl as an alternate is a good move, in my opinion, because now he can sit back and rest his leg, right, or rest his arm, get fully focused in, and just think about 4 months from now to get back out there on the field to pursue his legacy with the Dallas Cowboys. And follow suit is Tyron Smith and Zach Martin, because they probably looking at it like, hey, if my quarterback rejected this, why in the world am I out here? We made millions of dollars anyway, right? And the NFL, if you guys pay close attention to this, and I'm not trying to be conspiracy law, but watch, the NFL love to twist everything. And now they're going to speak positive and glowingly of the Cowboys. And they use the Pro Bowl to hurt us, because then they will say, look at the Cowboys. The first thing they say is comparison analysis. They had 2 Pro Bowlers on that offensive line, which never was the case nor the scenario. The offensive line is one unit that must speak at the same time in unison. One unit that everybody got to be on the same page. It don't matter if you have a Zach Martin and Zach Martin to the left of him is weak, and the Zach Martin to the right of him is weak, right? The OC can explain that vividly, right? You're only as strong as your weakest link. And teams penetrated and they focused on Connor Williams. So I had a plethora and a bevy of people reaching out to me saying, no law. The Cincinnati Bengals had a weak offensive line, and look what they were able to do. One is because they all played on the same beat. I get it. Yeah, they gave up a lot of sacks. But I guarantee you right now, there's nobody on the Cincinnati lineup that'll say, hey, bring me Connor Williams. Bring me those holes. Bring me that situation. Whereas Joe Burrows dropped back and it's a 52-yard bomber, and then all of a sudden you see flags out of galore everywhere. No, those boys fight in the trenches together. And it's all about being together versus looking at that one or two guys saying, hey, they got 2 Pro Bowlers. No, that's not the case or the scenario as it relates to O-line.
Yeah, what's y'all thoughts on Dak rejecting the Pro Bowl and leading to his other guys? And if y'all don't care, we can change the subject too. I mean, we can move on to something else, I promise y'all.
No, I'm going to be quick on this one. Look, man, it's a good sign. It's a good thing. And it speaks of priorities. And it also speaks of that, man, really, we ain't got nothing to celebrate. I'm not happy about how the season ended, right? I don't like this.
Yes,
I don't care about no Pro Bowl. I don't care.
I like
right?
that.
Forget
I
that,
like
man.
that.
Let me rest and let me get back to the lab. And if you're down the road with me, then you go do it too. And that's what the boys did. And especially people that are elite players like Smith and Martin that have age on their bodies. They need to rest. Forget that, man. Go get massages. Go do yoga. Rehab your injuries. Start working on your body after you take about a month off, man. Work on your body. Get ready to rock. You know what I'm saying? Forget all that. You don't need an extra game. All you guys are very wealthy men, and you guys are good to go, man. Forget that. So he's setting a tone again, and I like that part of it. That's really good.
Yep. Straight business,
I got something. Unless you had something on that big. Did you have something on that?
No, just basically, I just feel like it's a good PR move.
Ooh, that's my dog. Ooh. Hey, this one for you, Big. This one is perfectly for you, dog. This one from my boy out of H-Town, Studi Wood out of H.
Studi Wood. They don't know what that is. They don't know what that is.
And see, you see I was quiet when my boy Law hit that button. See, everybody got to learn something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, when I say I like that, you know what I'm saying? People not following that cue. I know. But my boy Studi Wood said, at some point, your QB has to make plays in big moments. Dak has done that before. We just need to get back to it. Now, listen, everybody got different opinions on this. That's cool. Don't beat up nobody that might critique Dak right now, because I know a lot of people love to get sensitive about Dak, but you got to know the hearts of the people that's speaking right now. If anybody got any critiques on Dak that's out of these 4, it's not no hate or malice. It's all in the spirit of wanting to improve. I want to say that first. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Big.
Man, I mean, what we talking about, Dak?
Yeah, we was talking about that.
Talk about him, man.
I'll bring it up
again.
I'll bring it up again.
Take the gloves off.
I did a show yesterday. I posted the Barry Church interview. I was voicing everything he said. Like, he basically said what I feel. You just got paid this big bread. You did great as a 2016 4th-round draft pick, but I don't want to hear that no more. I don't want to hear that you was a 2016 4th-round draft pick no more. Nobody cares about that. You one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league right now. You need to make plays. You need to make them throws. And if you hurt, okay, then I don't know. Don't tell us. If you don't want to tell us, that's fine. But you better figure it out and get healthy. So that was cool you declined that Pro Bowl, because you need to get back to running. Because I'm tired of seeing all these other guys that can run and throw, and they're doing it, and you not. Dog, it'd be 3rd and 2, and you keep holding the ball, holding. We all screaming at the TV, run. And you still standing there. So you need to just get them first downs, dog. Stop trying to prove to everybody that you some pocket passer. Okay? You don't got to prove that no more. It's year 7. You better run. I see Russell Wilson. I see all them guys. When it's like close, they like, all right, we just need to get a first down and we'll worry about them next 3 downs later. You need to be doing that. And guess what? And then when I was talking about Matthew Stafford yesterday, I never said that dude was elite. But one thing I did say, the difference is with Matthew Stafford, he got into a good system, but he had the abilities. See, he already had the physical attributes as a franchise quarterback, but his decision making, he was in a bad system. So he got got into a good system with those abilities. But one thing I said, the difference between him and Dak, Matthew Stafford and these other guys will throw them balls. When it's 3rd and 9 and you see that receiver and he looks covered and you still throw it and you get it there, you like, ooh, oh, he threw that? Man, that boy, that's why he getting, you be saying it in the TV, that's why he getting paid them big dollars, though. You feel what I'm saying? That's what you be saying in the TV. Be like, man, that's why he that franchise, because he ain't scared to make them big throws. He ain't scared at the big moment to be it. And I be feeling like, dog, when the pressure be getting on, just me, I be feeling like Dak be feeling that pressure, and it causes him to play like he does and get conservative. I feel like he don't want to lose that game, and that's why he does that, because, dog, there'll be openings, and it's like, throw it, and he won't do it, and he's got to do it because you're getting paid to do it.
So you wouldn't be mad at Dak if he threw 3 to 4 interceptions in his pass game, right? If at least
I seen Tony Romo do that.
Okay,
he was still gunslinging it. Yeah. He was still gunslinging it too. No, I don't want him to keep being conservative. I mean, we saw in 2019 when we talked about how he got kidnapped. He seemed like he was taking more chances. He was throwing the ball deep, and I'm not saying he wasn't throwing the ball deep this year, because you could see, and maybe that injury helped hurt a little bit. But at the end of the day, dog, we all watched the tape. We can't say we ain't watched the tape and we ain't seen him with guys open farther down the field, those money throws, and he won't throw the ball. And he's got to do it. He's got to do it. And when the game is on the line, he's got to make them plays. You get what I'm saying? It was that 49ers game, as bad as the Dallas Cowboys played, they still had an opportunity to win it. And what happened?
Final possession.
And there's been other times when it has. And I've seen him when we coming back, when we down 21-3 or 24-3, and then he going crazy. But I want to see it when it's like right then, not when we coming back, because I feel like there's less pressure because you can just be reckless. I want to see it when you got to make it and it's 3rd down and we need a big first down. You got to get them first downs. You can't be 3 and out after they just took the ball down the field on us. We got to make better plays. You feel me? So, yes, it comes on the coach. Yes, it comes on the coordinator. But at the end of the day, Dak is getting paid like top 5 quarterback. So he's got to play like that top 5 guy. And if everything else falls out around him, he's got to be able to put the whole daggone team on his back and say, I'm going to win this game. Hey, I love being a Cowboy.
Big game, James.
Game changer.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
That's why I cut for you, Big. And a lot of us got respect for you, because even if people don't agree, they gotta know that you keeping it real.
Yeah, he kept it real,
and I love Dak.
You know,
yeah.
I
love Dak. Like I
but
love Dak.
my biggest thing is with this, and I feel what you're saying, Big Game James. I just look at it like this, man. The strength of Dak Prescott is not throwing it 35 to 40 times, and unfortunately, I don't care if they paid the man $500 million. It's not going to happen that way. I don't care if he was completely healthy in that game. That's just not his avenue. I think that the Cowboys need to play stronger with his strength, and his strength will be a balanced approach. They need to figure out, just as much as we put the onus on Dak Prescott with his $75 million contract, there's a $90 million running back that didn't get it done too. And of course, we can talk about the front 5. But my biggest wart of that game was the fact that the offensive coordinator didn't design plays well enough to attack that particular threat on the defensive side. Yep. And they didn't attack it on the edge at all. Now, before anybody say Dak Prescott apologies, and I'm not trying to say that Ezekiel Elliott lost us the game just as much as Dak Prescott.
You just being balanced.
It's a balanced approach. Yep. That is the strength of Dak Prescott.
It is.
Balanced approach. It's not him going out slinging the ball 35 to 40 times a game. That's not what we paid him for, believe it or not.
Let me take this comment real quick, y'all, because this is a comment that I want to be very careful about. Chris Davis said, you ignore the faults of every other quarterback in the league and amplify Dak's shortcomings. You're a sensational BGJ. No, he's not. That's why I started with
Chris.
Hold on real quick.
Bro, he won't let it go, and he just wants. Yeah, he's always in the feed.
So I didn't know y'all was cool.
I ain't even worried about what he's saying.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know y'all was cool. But I want to say,
don't even worry about what he's saying.
I know all 3 of these dudes. and I want to say that, like, this is where Big Game James respect with me went up by 1,000,000, not 100, not 1,000, 1,000,000. When Everson Walls was sitting on this show,
Ooh.
I ain't gonna never forget that, dog. He might not ever come back because of Big Game James. Because we was debating game changer. And we was debating who was the game changer out of Cooper and CD Lamb. The OC in Big Game James, I was like, these dude, these boys told Mr. Everson Walls, especially Big. Big said, sir, I respect you. I know you're a legend and all that, but I don't feel you on that. You wrong. I said, oh.
Not my dog.
I said, so that's why we all got to understand, even when we disagree, you got to know where they coming from. Nobody on this panel is an egomaniac. And all of them, I know firsthand, got big. They not unsullied. I put it like that. They'll say what they got to say, and that's why I respect them. Now, I want to say one thing about Dak. From the eye test, Dak didn't have that closing it to me this year. That's one of the things that was missing. That closing it. I think a lot of it also had to do with the system that he was in. He was in a system that was telling him to aggressively attack what the defense gives you. By the latter end of the season, defense figured that out because Kellen Moore was talking too much, and they began to throw out different looks. So when the system itself was breaking down, it made it look like he was breaking down, in my opinion. This is just my take on it. Ain't nobody got to agree with me on this. Another thing about Dak, I think Dak got to hit a whole nother level of command and takeover. He got to get a takeover in him. He got to get some rebellion in him. He can't be so kumbaya. I'm cool with what Kellen Moore is saying. Yeah, because what'll happen is, even though you being cool with Kellen, you sinking as his scheme is sinking. So in the offseason, you need to own your offense. You got to get to the point to where you will get like Romo.
Kill.
Kill.
That Joker was killing every play. That Joker was killing
man.
every play.
I think something that's key with Dak, man, that really, I hadn't seen, since he's come back from the injury, that I hope I see, is that Dak got to get back to the passion of the game, not just the pressure of being the man. I felt like this year he dealt with a lot of pressure, even though I don't think he was 100% in his body. Of course, all that. But he was playing like a man underneath pressure and with something to lose. He got to find that in his heart what he had his first several years, where you saw passion and he was playing like a dude that was just trying to win. And not that he wasn't trying to win now, but it's a different sense. It's a different vibe, right? It's when you playing underneath pressure versus when you're playing out of passion. And that's what I think that he got to get back to, man. It's just playing with that passion and just love for football. But also, to Boss Cowboys' point, which is beautiful, you got to kind of be the type of person a little bit more that like comes into an organization and you look at your upper management and you show them respect, right? But you got to be like, this is my career, right? This is my career. And the issue with a quarterback is that your career is tied to the offensive coordinator and the head coach.
Right.
And so you got to talk straight business with those boys. If stuff ain't going right, and if you don't like stuff, and it's not in what you feel like is going to make the team successful, you got to come in there and have straight business conversations with them. And another thing about Ezekiel Elliott, look, man, when he had a torn PCL, posterior cruciate ligament, man, that is a very uncomfortable injury. And the fact that he played with it all season, salute regardless if he wasn't supposed to play or not. He got 1,000 on a bum knee, man. Salute, man. He get my tough guy award because I played 10 games in college with a torn meniscus. And I'm telling you, and a PCL is worse than a torn meniscus, dude. And so, dude, hey, he shouldn't have played, but he got my tough guy award for that, for real.
The OC.
There's no emotions, no friends, no loyalty.
Straight business.
Straight business.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
That was some great points there, man. Oh my God, that was great points. But there's no trophies to that. There's no awards for that tough guy stuff. And I feel you, man. There should been an alpha coach in that room that said, "Hey, we in the business of winning championships. We in the business of winning games." You know.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Go ahead, big game. Yeah.
All right, so we're talking about this. Remember how I said how Stephen Jones personally endorsed Kellen Moore coming back, right? Do y'all think Kellen Moore believes in Dak Prescott?
Yeah.
I mean, not Kellen Moore, but y'all think Stephen Jones believes in Dak Prescott?
Yes.
Yeah, that whole.
You think he does?
Yep.
Yeah, I think everybody up front do. I think they do. I think what really remember Big Game James when we saw the injury.
I remember when he said
and we all cried about it a little bit. Go ahead.
He did say that. He said you ain't Khalil Mack, and that's why he didn't want to pay him that money, right?
He did say that.
You talking about D-Law?
He did say that.
Steven say that. Steven did say that.
Steven said that. He said you ain't
that.
D-Law, and that's why I don't want to really pay you that money. You ain't that guy. Now, I ain't saying he ain't. But what I'm saying is, wasn't he saying a lot about Dak? How we got to pay everybody. You know what I mean? We gotta, this takes time. We gotta see. We gotta wait. We gotta see. We gotta wait. And I know they signed him, and I feel like they was doing the right thing. You feel me?
Right,
but,
right.
I wonder just in my heart, not nobody else's, just in my heart, because I know how Steven is cheap with it anyway.
Yeah,
But
that's
he
it.
was really
you answered
going
your
on.
own question.
No. I'm not answering it because
You
he
did.
was really. He said, but I'm saying, he said he wasn't gonna say Dak wasn't the guy like he said with D-Law though.
Yeah, but that's the time of where he haggling. And they do a lot of stuff to try to get your market value down. They play real dirty in the offseason to where I don't take nothing they say serious in the offseason. Yeah. I don't. That's why when he talked about I'm confident, when he said I'm confident we go get Mike McCarthy, I was like, confident.
Listen. Didn't he say he didn't like paying good players great money?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he also said that's how he is. Because he also said more with that. He also said
he wasn't like that with Romo.
Yeah, he was.
He was.
Yeah, he was like that with Romo.
Yes, he was.
But then he paid.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you exactly why.
But didn't they pay Tyrone Crawford $40 million?
Did they pay
Tyrone Crawford?
Yeah, but this is the difference. Nobody ever says this. No. It's not a favorite son. People don't say the real on Romo. No, listen to me. Everybody listen. I'm finna tell y'all because y'all know I wrote 1,000 articles on this cap stuff and the history of this. So I'm gonna tell y'all what happened with Romo. Romo turned over, bent over. That's what happened. Romo deal was ridiculous. Now a lot of people saw the $100 million and they was like, Romo got $100 million, but it was a 6-year deal.
Right, they spread it out. So he screwed himself because the other quarterback was getting 4-year deals. He got a 6-year, $100 million. That's a bad deal. You know what I mean? But most people don't look at the time value of money. I'm a finance major. I know the time value of money. You know what I'm saying? Especially with a rising cap. That was a bad deal. That's why they signed it so fast. See, what took Dak so long is Dak won't go do no 6-year. He was like, what? Right. I know that.
Okay.
But I look at Ezekiel Elliott too, how they signed him.
But Zeke who?
I don't know.
No, Zeke who? Remember they did him like that big? They gave him Zeke
Zeke, yeah.
They do
but Zeke
everybody
went.
like that, dog. In the offseason, when it comes to
I don't
money,
know.
nobody
But
dirty
Zeke
like
did
them.
get
man.
paid early. But Zeke did get paid earlier.
Zeke did,
though.
but Zeke
After
pushed.
holding out.
But Zeke did that because he knew what they were going to do to him. They were going to do him like DeMarco Murray.
Right.
They were going to Zeke.
I agree.
That's why he held out.
Yep.
Because he was like, if they got one more year out of him, they were going to fleece him with that money and say, nah, well, you're 25 now. You got another year on you. You got one more year wear and tear. We're not going to pay you that big money. That's why he held out. He beat them at the pass. He saw what they was going to do to him.
And then he got lucky too, because if Tony Pollard would have opened up with those first 2 games, remember that season, those first 2 games, man, then we blew out those teams.
Yeah, we were 3-0. Yeah, we came out banging without
we came
Zeke.
out guns and blazing, baby.
Yeah, without Zeke.
So
Yeah, we
they'd have
did.
been
That
really
was it,
saying
didn't
Zeke
they?
who?
And that's
Yeah.
why everybody was getting mad. Like, well, see, Tony Pollard. But see, that's where we talk about how when you gave the solutions to Kellen Moore and we talked about all those things and OC said those things, like Law says, that sounds all great, but we still come back to Ezekiel Elliott was sitting out like that, and then Tony Pollard comes in, and then he turns up. They're like, nah, we just paid this dude this money. We can't be letting Pollard be getting these touches and turning up, because then it's going to be looking like a bad deal for us. So he's got to play. And so that's why we see, you feel me, how he was pushed in that lineup because of that deal.
Let me ask y'all this too, though. You asked the question, do the Jones family believe, basically, do Stephen Jones believe in Dak? This offseason would tell it all too, because 2 things can really tell us. What they do in this draft. If they draft early quarterback, then we're going to be, raising up the eyebrow. And on top of that, if they go into the market and they bring in a veteran quarterback, that will raise the eyebrow. Because there's no way in life you can say, I don't believe in Dak, and you still. And I know Cooper Rush had that one moment out there, but come on, if you keep Ben DiNucci and Cooper Rush out there, come on, man. That means that they believe in Dak Prescott. But if they go out there and get a veteran quarterback, you draft a quarterback, then I would say, they froggy on Dak Prescott.
Hey, listen, before we get into the final word, especially
McVay did that.
Shout out to Special K. He said Zeke held out because he knew Kellen was going to be a pass-happy OC. Yup, and didn't know how to create run plays. I totally agree with you, Special K. All right, now, it was something we all went back and forth on back in the day. I want to bring it up again. Y'all going to remember this
Lord.
too. Yeah. No, it ain't messy. It's going to be something No, it ain't messy at all. I'm being nice today. That's why I call this show the Aftermath. We just doing all aftermath talk. Do y'all remember we had this talk about the Rams versus the Cowboys way of team building? Y'all remember that?
Yes.
Let's revisit that.
Oh, wow.
Revisit
don't shake
that.
me, y'all.
Let's revisit that.
Don't shake me with the butter knife if I said something bad.
Yeah, let's
go ahead.
I know.
You got some audio? You got some audio clips, or we just got to
I ain't got no clips.
I already know.
Oh, okay.
I ain't got no receipts. I don't remember what nobody said. I do remember.
Okay, you got
one
no
thing.
receipts.
I ain't got no receipts.
I remember saying, I know what I said. I said it on my Twitter. I apologize to the Rams because I said they was desperate, jumping out there, going and getting Von Miller, and when they got what's the safety that they got was like a 37-year-old safety, your boy Weddle or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, man, these dudes are just desperate, whatever. And I apologize to them because I'm gonna just say one thing about it, and then y'all have the floor.
Okay.
That organization, you don't know nothing about who it is. I don't know who owns them now. I don't hear about them. All I know is that they all in and they believe in their coach and they empower their coach, because there's no way in hell they're making those kind of trades if you don't believe in your coach. You do not make those kind of trades if you don't believe your guy. And they are empowering him. I said quickly, when they had Jared Goff, they went to a Super Bowl. He said, nah, this ain't my guy. I need somebody else. The Rams said, okay, go get who you want. Boom, he got who he want. And guess what? They right back there.
You're right back at it. Yeah. But what we can look at, and when we say this, if Tart, and I know if was a fifth, we all will be drunk, But if Tark catches that interception, the 49ers would have been in the Super Bowl. And all what they did with Von Miller, paying Aaron Donald, going out there doing with the Jalen Ramsey and picking up
was a fifth.
all of this stuff. Yeah, I'm just saying that
if was a fifth.
If it was a fifth, it was right in his hands, for crying out loud. It was bittersweet for me, though, because we can't stand the 49ers, but all of that would have been just like this right here. All of that movement and everything would have been this button right here. Where is it?
Shame.
Shame. Shame.
Now, I can tell y'all right now, and I'm definitely not a fan of them. But the way the Bengals did that, oh my goodness, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, that's a really young team at the tight end.
You should have showed that thing, boss.
What?
About Mike Brown. You should have showed that.
Oh my goodness.
I got it. Give me a second.
Really young team.
Give me a second.
Do the
big
final
dog.
word, man.
I got
That's
it.
what you need to show.
I got it, bro. Let Law finish. By the time Law finish,
no. What I'm saying is what they did in free agency too. What they did to go grab, look, Cheeto Wuzie, he wasn't a world beater, but hey, he was almost always their guy, right? And then you think about Jesse Bates. Hey, he controls the center of the field as the safety. He's been homegrown on that particular situation, right?
But Law, everything you're saying is correctly. Everything you're saying is 100% correct. But I'm out here in Ohio, and I know about Mike Brown. He was a guy that was cheap.
Let Law finish, dog. Give me a second to set it up. I'm going to set it all the way up.
No. That was the end of that. You know,
I
the
was
only
just
thing
saying
that team can do in the future is just go draft the offensive line for the near future, and they be okay. That's the only thing they miss.
They are. Well, see, the thing is, how you said that, Mike Brown was like the guy who doesn't like to pay people. You seen him run so many people out of Cincinnati because they were cheap. He had a clause in the Bengals contracts that if they said anything bad about the organization, he would take their money. You get what I'm saying? Wow. So he was he was like Jerry Jones, and the owner, the general manager, the president of he was like owner of all of it. But he didn't like to pay. Where Jerry liked to spend, he was cheap. Carson Palmer got into a face-to-face argument with that man and said he was a very stubborn man, and because he said he needed to sit down and leave the general manager alone, start updating and trust his people. And you saw what happened with Carson Palmer, right? He said, I'll never play with Cincinnati again, and they traded him. He said, I will never. Corey Dillon said, I will never play for him again. So he had a bad history. But this past season, he stepped back and stepped down from the NFL committee.
Facts.
He started letting his daughter take over the day-to-day operations of football. He is still the owner and the president, but he stepped back and let his people do the job. And they have been clamoring and forever winning games, y'all. They've been winning just like Dallas. They've been winning games. Remember when they had Andy Dalton, they went to 5 straight playoffs, but they never won anything. You feel me? They had opportunities when they had Carson Palmer and TJ Houshmandzadeh, and they had a good team. But remember, with the big unfortunate injury, I just say these things just happen when you're doing wrong up top. When he finally stepped back and he didn't say anything and he let people take over and he trusted people, do you think I'm sorry, I don't think it's coincidence that they went to a Super Bowl this year. Nope. I'm sorry, because he did it this year and it happened that fast. It happened that fast. Law, you brought up yourself when we were sitting there watching Jerry Jones on that Hall of Fame panel with Jimmy Johnson sit there and say, it's about time we do it. It's about time we do it. And then what happened? You lied. You lied to all of us because we was all excited and we thought you was actually going to do it, and you didn't do it. So I don't think it's a chance that we had the season that we had only for this kind of failure, because you lied to the fans once again, Jerry. And so this would happen to you. So every time you keep doing that kind of stuff, you're going to get paid for what you do. So stop doing that. Take a step back. Mike Brown, he did it. Look at this dude who was stubborn like you, and he did it. He did it. And look where they're at in 1 year. In 1 year.
In 1 year. Let me jump in real quick,
stepping
Big.
back.
Let me jump in because Boy, listen.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
I didn't even know all of that went on.
Listen.
Why nobody talking about this?
No, we finna talk about it now. All right. Whoo. And this is the reference. Big is not lying. See, listen, I was going to do a video on this tomorrow, but I'm going to get a little bit into it today, just a little bit. I ain't going to give away the whole video, but some of this came from me and Big having this conversation. Shout out to Big. It's on his page. But it's a history that goes with this. I'm going to show I'm going to show y'all why y'all need to follow my boy Big Game James. Listen, because he was preaching a heavy sermon. Look at last year, Big. This article was from last year, January 3rd. It said, is Jerry or Mike Brown the worst NFL general managers? Listen, they go all the way through the history.
Y'all digging.
Oh, yeah, man, say me and Big been working. Big, I called you today about this, didn't I? I called you today. I said, bro, what was that you was talking about? Because I've been researching. He said, go to my page. And I went to his page. I was like, thank you, dog. Yeah, we talked about this today. And August 31st, 2021, Mike Brown steps down and NFL owner committee. Yep. And listen, and then he said this feels like an indication that Brown has taken a step back from traditional owner duties. His daughter, Executive Vice President Katie, seems to have assumed most of his responsibilities, but he's still the president and owner. And they went right to the Super Bowl when the meddling hands got out.
And he stepped back and trust his people and let them do their job.
Yep.
What happened? What happened? And Mike Brown was in Forbes. They were calling him one of the worst owners in the league in NFL history. In NFL history, general manager, owner, he was one of the worst. And he finally said, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to let my people cook, and I'm going to let them do their thing. And within 1 year, you saw the date. You saw the date.
It was the date. I showed y'all the date. I showed you the date.
And they both got daughters, too. So Charlotte Jones, come on, baby. For the 2022 season.
The date of this article is January 3rd, 2021, bro. Last year.
Put Charlotte Jones in front
1 year
baby.
of getting out the way. 1 year. And they went right to the Super Bowl.
And the
final
curse
words.
was released.
Final words, everybody, because the OC got to get out of here.
OC, you go ahead and go then, man. Go ahead and go with the final word I meant to say. I ain't saying go ahead and leave. But,
man. So look, the Cowboys. It's all good. So look, the Cowboys are in a position that. No, you good. The Cowboys are in a position, man, where they can really, make some good decisions. I think the Cowboys will have a good draft. I mean, they have historically done that the last several years. But the key is that will you give your key chefs a chance to cook the ingredients completely? I think that if you give some checks and balances of Kellen Moore, you will actually have a more explosive offense and you'll perform better in key scenarios. Bring John Kitna back. Keep on strengthening the defense, because if we can't execute in key moments, we'll need our defense to be even more dominant to help us win in big games. That's my final word.
Yeah, and my final word is we got some things that we can learn from this playoff run. I'm going to be dropping a video tomorrow about that, about the things we can learn. And as you can see, partially what Big Game James talked about is going to be one of our biggest lessons that we can actually learn from this run. We got multiple points, but y'all stay with everybody that's on these channels, because everybody I feel like here are some of the best podcasters, period, in Cowboys Nation. It is no doubt in my mind at all that these guys are the best. So what we all are committed to, whether we doing content together or from afar, we are all committed to ideas that's going to make the Dallas Cowboys better. So continue to follow us, because that's the key to it. And share all the content, because all of us are putting in work. Is it a coincidence that the last things you start hearing from Big Game James, I already was ready to pull up?
Wow.
I was ready to pull it up.
Amazing, man.
Didn't even know he was going to talk about it. It shows you how we are so committed to the research and making us better. That's my final word.
Yeah, man. Just my final word. You know, I'm gonna just keep it real. We got the talent. You know, I think it, like OC says, it's gonna be another good draft. Dallas is gonna get good players. Dallas is gonna win games. But until what I just talked about with that Mike Brown thing, and it can happen because he just showed you he could do it. That was a dude that was set in his ways like no other, and he did it. And it can show you can change. You can take a step back.
Preach.
And when he did it, it was really real change, and it comes swiftly. I think it says some things in the Bible, and not try to really preach it, but when you really change and turn to do right, good things happen to you swiftly. They don't wait 4, 5, 6 years down the line. When you change your life, when you change things in your ways, things come to you quickly. You get rewarded. So see the reward, Jerry. See the reward, because you're wasting talent. We're wasting good players. And the time is now to stop and take a step back. That's my final word.
Man, that big game, James, man. Oh my goodness, man. Bringing out the points, man, left and right. And he's right. You know, a Jerry Jones, be a man of your word, and put Jimmy in the Ring of Honor. Because you said it. And I think that the turn of the season came in the Centennial Bowl, in the Centennial game, when we was honoring the Centennial movement. That particular game would have been the ultimate time to put Jimmy in the ring. And I believe by you not doing that, that's when everything just went flat, right? And it's something to do with that. And just call me crazy, but like Big Game James said,
you ain't crazy.
That curse
You ain't
is real,
crazy.
man. That
You ain't
curse is
crazy.
real,
That curse is
man.
real.
Yeah,
I don't
bro.
care.
That
It's
curse
real.
is real, baby.
real. It's real.
Oh my gosh, man. So this team, let's figure this out, man. The draft is right around the corner. We're undefeated in the draft. No one loses. All of these guys and all of the talent that I believe that Will McClay, John Stephen Jones, Chris Hall, and all of those boys come together, they will find some good players. But let's not forget about the free agency before the draft. I think that what you said, Boss Cowboy and Big Game James, open up the wallet. Open it up. You move money around. You spread it money around. They cleared up some cap space, $16 million open here. Another 11 or $8 million open up before that time frame. Go out there and target a good free agent out there to bring in, whether it be a J-Ron Reed, a big boy that you put inside to help out and solidify the core of this defense, right? Or whether it be that top tier safety that you can bring in for a cup of coffee. But don't sit out here and say, okay, we made some movement by signing Randy Gregory and re-signing Dalton Schultz, and that was our free agent moves. No. You go out there and you make something happen. Bring in some new guys that got some pedigree and some background to help this team go far, and still draft wisely. If we get multiple draft picks due to the compensatory pick, I get it. We want to be a collector of draft picks, but will and deal, bundle these things up together, move up, because compensatory picks, you can trade them now. So move up with those compensatory picks and go get that dog. Go get that animal that you want, that beast that you can compare up with a Parsons and help out a Diggs and all of these things. And during this offseason, the biggest thing that we all need to look in the mirror with, starting with the quarterback and the OC, not you, the OC, but the OC as it relates to Kellen Moore, is accountability. We need to have that as the voice of all offseason. I don't care whatever they put on them shirts, put accountability on there. Hold each other accountable. Being the most penalized team since 1996, newsflash. Let's change that. Being the most penalized team last season, let's change it with accountability, because we can have that change right now by when a situation happens, whether it's false start or holding, let these players challenge each other and stop blaming the officials. Challenge each other and say, hey, let's play a clean game. let's make sure that we are not the reason why we losing, right? Cowboy Nation, that's my thoughts. That's my final word. Accountability. Come on. Come on, John Kettner. Come on back. Yeah.
Man, that was the final word. God, dog. All right, my dog, Ron.
Run it, baby.
Take care, OC.
Take care, man. Be safe.
Yeah, man.
One
OC
love.
have to go. No,
Somebody said
it's
it's called discipline, not accountability. Discipline.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal.
Nah, man, this is a powerful final word. Cheeto in the bowl. Proud of you, big dog.
James Slater.
Yes, indeed. Slater, James.
I know that.
Shout out
was
to
dope.
Cowboys experience too.
Fun.
Appreciate that.
Shout out to
See,
Cowboys.
y'all don't be knowing them, man. That's why y'all gotta follow us, man. You feel me? We be on that grind though, and ain't no backing when we get them interviews, baby.
Oh,
so y'all know that.
Yeah, we just getting
Great
started.
grind work.
People know where this energy at. They know exactly where it's at.
Great grind work.
Say the final word, baby.
Make sure y'all check out that Senior Bowl stuff too, man. We still live?
Yeah, we still live.
You got your
Yeah,
pet
man,
cat
make sure
going
y'all check
on,
out-
big game.
Oh, dog,
Senior
I'm
Bowl
liking quite a few players, dog. I can't wait till we talk about that. We need to do a show this week or something and talk about that.
I'm ready, dog.
Oh, man.
Keep it
Thank
real
y'all for the
because
birthday
I'm
wishes. They telling me happy birthday
Oh,
in the chat, man.
Hey, that boy
man,
Law,
we
appreciate
told
y'all.
he got
Law.
the
We-
Man, that boy, man, Law, I need to know where you get that haircut.
Your haircut
man.
is fresh too.
Oh
I
my
wanted
God,
to tell you
that
your
boy line
haircut
is